This conference will now be recorded.
Next is called OOPS concepts with constructor. In the previous session, we have seen class with the function and calling it, right? Now, next is called constructor. Constructor is used for initialization purpose. Suppose if you have a class with some details, ID, name, and duration, how do we call the constructor and how do we display the details?
Okay.
So we created a course class in which underscore underscore init underscore means it is a constructor. It is used for initialization.
Yeah.
If we wanted to initialize the data called ID, course name, and duration, you give the data. Here itself you can pass the values and the self you need to pass. Self indicates
Yeah.
current class variables. Self indicates okay instance variables. Means this can vary from object to object. And show is a function to display the values. Like simply you will print self.id, self.cname, and self.duration. Suppose if some variable is declared like okay, here you are declaring okay type of the course. Yes, you wanted to give just a type you want to give. The one which you declare before init is called class variable. The one which you declare inside init is called instance variable. Now, this is called class variable. Class variable is something which is common for all the objects, the type. If you wanted to display this type, okay, you can print directly type. You don't need to refer it with the self dot type. Whatever you declare inside the constructor should be referred with the type. Should be referred with self keyword. But other things we can call it directly. Okay, this is called class variable.
Yeah.
And when we wanted to create an object for this class, so here C equal to course. Now you wanted to print something from ID, CNAME, and duration. So you can print in a formatted way. Suppose if you wanted to print in a simple fashion, you can print like this. Unformatted way is print simply what you will do C dot ID. Okay, and then C dot name, then C dot duration. Similarly, if you wanted to print type C dot type, and also directly you wanted to print with class name course dot type. Clear? As these are all the instance variables, we are printing using self keyword here by using object name. If it is inside the class, we use refer with self keyword. But if it is outside of a class, if you have created an object, to refer to that, you have to use this reference variable. C is called reference or object. Through object, you have to call. But coming to something which we declare here, which is called as a class variable, means which is common for all the objects. So at that time, you can refer it with the object name and as well as you can refer it with the class name. Okay?
Wait, is that the same thing? C dot type and course dot type?
Yes, both are
Oh,
same.
okay. Okay.
Now we are printing like ID, name, and duration in unformatted way. Means just like that you are printing the data. Now you wanted to show something like formatted. I wanted to say like ID equal to so and so, course equal to so and so. You have
Hmm.
to use this curly braces syntax, dot format, then c dot id, c dot name like this.
Oh,
Now
okay.
similarly type if you wanted to print. Dot format of, like this you can print. This is just like that printing one by one variable, but already we have a function which is printing the data. So you can call that function called show.
Hmm.
And do you want to create another reference for course? Yes, C1 dot course. Do you want to call it? Yes, C1 dot show. Right? This is what is you can do with the course. One more object you are creating and calling it. Now you'll be able to display the values of all the courses. See here,
Yeah.
what time you are printing. Okay, the type of the language, course, class type. Whenever you declare the class, it will declare the class type. Okay, and we're displaying all the values.
I have an error under C dot name.
Actually, c dot
Name.
c dot name will print a course name, right?
Yeah.
Python. Python is a course name.
Yeah, but it says there's an error.
Where,
Oh, it's C dot C name. Right. Oh, okay. I got it now.
yeah,
Oh wait, no, it's still wrong.
it says c dot c name, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah. And here the variable name actually we should not give type because
oh
type is a predefined, right? You
yeah.
can give type of R type one. Just you change it.
C dot type doesn't is an error for me too.
Because it's not an error, but
Oh
it is not giving the actual value, right? It is
yeah.
just giving class type. Okay. So why? Because type is predefined, something which gives the type of the class.
Oh.
Somewhere we need to give
But
c
mine's
dot.
still not printing
Wait. Here there is an error. Type one.
for C dot type. Yeah.
Here our class name print dot type one. Okay.
Mm.
Now everywhere you are trying to print that a type one. Somewhere still type is there. Where it is? Yeah, here.
Oh, it's type one.
Yeah. Now it is
Type
able to print the language.
type one still doesn't work.
Type one is working, right?
Don't I
You're
have to like call it somewhere?
Yeah, actually the thing is we cannot use a type. Why? Because type is something which is like if you wanted to display type of a string, for example, like this.
Oh, okay.
You have print, there is a type function. Type of what? String. Let's say you are giving like there is a string in Python. You wanted to know type of this,
Oh, okay.
then
Yeah,
you
I
have to
printed it
use
now.
type, which is keyword, which is reserved word. You're not
Oh, so
supposed
you
to.
have to change type one to you have
Yeah.
to change it to type. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it now. It's printing.
It's a keyword, so that's the reason it is not working. This is one of our example for class with the constructor. Okay, I'll give you the notes for this. session notes I'll make and okay, this is all the first example we are doing today. Okay, class with so this is the first example. Next is we are going to do with the second class called employee. Here there is a class in which you are taking a self-employee and you are passing the data. There is first constructor in which always Bhavana and 24 age is taken because we are declaring int with the self. This is called constructor. But sometimes I don't want to give the default values. I wanted to pass my own data from here. At that time, you can also declare, okay, only self and you can pass the inputs. You don't need to initialize here. Okay. So self dot name, self dot age, if you say, now it is going to call disp function, it is printing. Okay. Now what you can do is one more constructor you can write without initializing the data. I can pass the data from here. Okay. So that let me check. Here one is formatted way, event dot name, event dot age you are printing. Okay. Save it. Now you are able to get the employee data call. What here you can see event dot name. You should print Bhavna and 24. Bhavna and
But that
20.
isn't that self name, self dot name?
Yeah, but here the thing is one is formatted way you are printing.
Oh,
Bhavna 24 as it is you are printing. When you say event dot disp, you are getting Bhavna 24, right? Second is
oh,
again
okay.
e2 dot disp, again you are printing. But
Don't you have
both
to
the
put
time
self
getting the
inside of
same
disp?
value. Sorry?
Isn't it e1 dot disp self?
Yeah, even dot disp will call this function and will print okay Bhavna and
20.
age.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's the
Oh,
first.
okay, because disp dot self
Second one
was the
is
self
again
name.
one more object you created. So
Okay.
again you get it. Third is when you call the function, it is printing in formatted way. No, not formatted way. But down I wanted to print formatted way. Name equal to so and so and age equal to so and so.
Yeah.
Right? This is formatted up to this.
Hmm.
After this, why we are getting, yeah, Python dev. Somewhere it is uncommented, so we are getting. Now, there is some change in this I would like to give you called. This is a self constructor without passing the data. So every time it takes these values. Okay. This is constructor with default values every time. Means anytime you run and any number of objects you create, every time Bhavna only printed. Okay. Let me give it in the chat as well.
Okay.
Okay. Now I just will do some change over here. Here we can pass, okay, name, comma age. Okay. Here we can give name and age like this. So here the difference is we can pass at runtime. Okay, means now I am giving, okay, now here I wanted to give one more instance.
Yeah.
So what is the difference here? We are calling with the disk one time, disk another time, and down we are
Yeah.
printing formatted. Save
Hmm.
it. If we can see, with one object we are getting 16, another object we are able to change. But
Oh, why
earlier,
is it printing 17? The second one? E2.
yeah, we gave 17, right?
Yeah, but are we printing E2?
Yeah, we are giving 17, but here it is unable 16, means we are just formatting
Oh,
only.
oh, in the formatted way, it's 16. Okay.
Yeah. Again, if you print e2 dot name, right? So let me print in a single line. Okay, name colon age colon dot format of e2 dot name comma e2 dot age. Okay, means I wanted to pass name into this, age into this, e2 dot age. Clear? Here separately we are printing, here we are combinedly we are printing. Now if you can see, now you are able to print age, and this is this, and this is this. So what is the difference we observed previous example and this example?
Hmm. What?
In the previous example, we are giving fixed values over here. Means now if you can observe, here we are passing Bhavna 24. So with E1 also you are getting Bhavna, with E2 also you are getting Bhavna. You can't change the data. Right?
Yeah.
But now what are we doing? We are not giving the values. We are just passing the variable.
Hmm.
And we are passing at runtime. When we pass after object is created, this is called runtime. Runtime means while executing, we can keep on changing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. With this, we are able to modify the values. This is also called as a constructor by passing the values at runtime and printing using formatted way.
Hmm.
This is called parameterized constructor. Now, similarly, we have another example called as, okay, here is a parameterized constructor. So in the parameterized constructor, what are we doing is, there is a mobile smartphone class. Class is of a smartphone. And you are just declaring device and brand. Just like previously we are giving name and age, now we are giving device name and brand name. And you have a function is an instance method. What exactly this instance method is doing? It is just printing it. Earlier we are printing after the class, means here we are saying print so and so, and in the disper we are printing simply only self.name self.name. But now in a function itself, like description function itself, we are using formatted way. This is also possible. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is a function. In previously it was just a simple function called disper. Now we gave the name as a description. Okay. So in the smartphone class we defined a constructor in which we are giving the device name and device brand. So the values we can initialize here. And by this function we are going to print it with this called display function or description function. How do we create an object for smartphone now? As usual, some object equal to smartphone and pass your device and brand, smartphone and Samsung. Second is compact phone and Oppo. Third, if you wanted to create one more object, simple phone is an object name, phone of Android, and then brand is Motorola. Right? Now you wanted to print that object. So when you call description, you will be able to print, right? So we don't need to print it here. So let us call that. So call that function. What is an object name? Simple phone dot description. If you call the description, it is going to call this value, it is going to return. So now we should be able to get okay, description about Samsung, description about Oppo, description about Motorola. It is another example for a class. Somewhere. Now it is properly opened and it should be closed. Okay. Now here we are displaying the smartphone details. See here everywhere we are able to get Samsung and what are we printing? Self dot. Why are we not getting? We are getting the object. So it is not a description, it is brand, right?
Where'd you get brand?
Here we define
Oh,
brand.
right here. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so
Wait. So do you just put every variable in there?
declare the variables in the init
Oh, okay.
underscore
So
underscore
self
init.
device and brand. Wait. So if you add a new variable, you have to add it into there too.
Yeah, we can add whatever you want to add, you can add it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Add more number, let's say quantity or price. Okay, you wanted to declare, and here you need to define self dot divide. Okay, self dot price equal to price. Here you should say quantity. Okay, then where do you pass it? While passing, if you wanted to print it, first you print here self.qty, self.price, and you close this over here, and then you need to pass quantity and price as well. Okay, now we are printing it. Save it and print. Now you will be able to get Samsung, Oppo, and Motorola. Here we are missing this, right? We need to give the number of arguments we are passing, the number of curly braces. Now you are able to get it. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is all the document I will upload in the GitHub. It's another example for smartphone class.
Okay.
Put in the chat. Now at last we have another example with the classes and objects. Okay, that is called account class. Account is a class in which you have account number, name of the account holder, and a balance amount. Okay. Now you're just printing it, all the details. Simply you're printing the account. First account number 12345, Python developer, so on and so on. When you say display, it will just display all the details, right? Now you just wanted to deposit some amount. So there is a function you are writing. What this deposit should do is whatever current balance is there, that should be added with the amount that we are passing. Always for a function, first you need to write a self keyword, then some argument. Okay. So balance amount is increased here. And whenever you withdraw, balance amount is reduced. Okay.
Okay.
And get balance means it will return the available balance. Everywhere self dot balance plus amount, self dot balance minus amount, returns.
But if you wrote self.name equals to name, can't you just write name instead of
Yeah,
self.name? Like you put self.balance equals to
where
self.balance
in
plus amount. Couldn't
self
you just
dot
do balance equals to balance plus amount?
yeah, why not? If you wanted to say here, here, you mean to say
Yeah, but if you say self.name equals to name, then at the top, like in the first line.
at the top, you are just declaring it. Means you wanted to pass the name. Okay.
Oh, okay. I get it.
So
Yeah.
when you say account A equal to, when we pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that will go to this. So it will be stored. Second, you are saying Python dev, it will go to name. Name is getting saved.
Oh,
Initial balance you are sending 10,000, so that is getting stored.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
First initialization happens up to this. Later, based on the your operation, you are calling disp. So inside the disp, what are we doing? Just we are printing all the details. Printing account number, printing name, printing the balance. Okay, that much we are doing. Let me comment the remaining thing. Okay, means just we are printing the details. Now, after printing these details, we have to do some operations. See, first initially we have only account number, developer name, and initial balance. But we have defined a function called What is the function we have declared? Deposit. What the deposit is doing? What is the logic in deposit?
Deposit? That's just adding, right?
Yeah, adding amount with existing balance.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is
Yeah.
what we are doing it here.
Okay.
So we are calling that, means you need to call deposit. But after you call, is it printing here? No, right? It's just adding it. How do we get the value? Is get balance. Get balance is printing, right?
Yeah.
So how can we print it? Available balance is
And
so and
then
so
comma, right?
uh, dot format.
Dot. Oh yeah.
We give this,
And then
we
it'll
give,
go into the bracket.
yeah,
Okay.
should be like this, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to print first deposit, then get balance, and we are not doing withdrawal. Okay, only
Yeah.
after deposit we should get the balance. A dot disp, what it is doing? Just it will print. Disp means what it is doing? It is printing the values.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can print. First you're printing the values. Now after that you called deposit of 2000. So now if you call get balance function here, it is printing this balance amount is 12,000. Up to this
Yeah.
clear?
Yeah. It's clear.
Now we are withdrawing the amount. Withdrawing means what is the logic we are doing?
Subtracting, right?
Just subtracting for the existing amount. Existing amount is how much? 12,000.
Yeah.
12,000 minus 5,000. Again you are printing get balance. Okay, and at the end just you are printing this. It's not compulsory, just you're testing it. So after 5,000 is added, 5,000 is deducted, how much is the balance?
Eight. I mean,
1,000 minus 5,000.
7,000, right?
Yeah, and now you're just printing display, it is showing the all available amount. Means here you are learning first how to declare a class, how to initialize the data, how to pass the values at runtime, means how to pass the data at runtime, and then performing different operations. One operation is just to print the data without format.
Yeah.
Second is print only available balance, not all the values. Third is you have to add some amount to the existing amount. Every time you need to add self and then the required parameter. For depositing, you're doing adding. For withdrawing, you're doing subtracting.
Okay.
Right? It is
Yeah.
a complete example for an object orientation class with functions, with the constructor. Okay, this is an example for all the features.
Hmm.
Class with constructor. Constructor means that underscore underscore init underscore underscore. Okay. Next functions. Functions means you have many functions. Disp function, deposit is one function, withdraw is another function, right? And get balance is another function. So we are writing deposit, withdraw, and get balance.
Okay.
And what if I wanted to create one more object? Means A1 equal to account of, you create account number and okay, and opening balance is so and so. Now
Okay.
you have to perform A1 dot disp.
Wait, what's the first value? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
This is account number, right?
Oh, okay.
Account
That's
number,
like
AC
fine.
number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Now we wanted to perform A1 dot deposit of how much? 10,000. Okay. Now A1 dot get balance. Then A1 dot withdrawal of 20,000. Then A1 dot get balance. So this is how you can print. First is 50,000. Then you have added 10. So you are getting 60,000. Then you are subtracting 20,000. Again it is going to 40,000. This is with a different object, different values. And on the above, you have other values for Python developer.
Mm.
Two different objects can contain two different data, right? That is called instance or object. Object 1, object 2. Instance 1, instance 2. Whenever you go to class, you will get the structure of that class. See here, what is the structure of the class? Account number, name, and balance. What data type it is? We are not declaring any data type, right? But it's showing the definition for account number is integer type, name is string, and balance amount is int.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the last example for class for we are taking an example for class with the constructor and functions.
Okay.
I will share that entire document, okay?
Okay.
And similarly, we have more examples. Here also, there is an employee
Oh yeah.
class,
We went
and
through
then
this
we
one,
are
right?
passing the data and you are printing it. And one more example called employee, where you're not passing the data, you're taking the class variable.
So these are
Cla-
all constructors.
yeah, constructor.
Okay.
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 And sometime when you have here one more example, you can see class 3 in which this is basic example. Now in the employee class, what are we doing is we take a name and age, which is instance variables. But I
Yeah.
wanted to take one class attribute, okay, where these values are object to object, it will change. Object to object means first Bhavana object I created. When you print it, it is printing the employee count is how much. This is a class variable. It is not like
Yeah.
instance. First it is
Yeah.
0. Now, whenever it is initialized, you are incrementing that count as plus 1. Plus 1 means it will become 1.
What does that
Now,
count to?
count variable is incrementing every time when you create an object.
Mm.
Whenever constructor is called, it should be incremented.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If it is an instance variable, we refer it with self. But if something is declared before class, that is referred with class name. Class name dot count plus 1. Now, you are printing the name and age in two different ways with the formatted way. Now, count you have to print, right? So, employee dot count. Here is referred with self. Self means what? You are taking the
So
constructor value. Why are we using underscore?
yeah. Well,
Underscore is not mandatory.
oh,
Okay,
okay.
it's not required. Even if you say age, that's
Is
fine.
that the same thing? Okay.
You can remove it. I'll tell you what is underscore significance in the next session. Okay, now you are printing it. to display the current count of the object is this. But after I create one more object, okay, with Rajesh 26, the count get incremented. Okay, now if you print, okay, now the count will be 2. Suppose third object you are creating, Anir and 16. Now it will become what? 3, right?
Yeah.
Just one more new line if you wanted to give empty line, we type a print. See here, the count is something which is common, right? When first object is created, count was 1. When second object is created, count was 2. Third object is created, 3.
Yeah.
Means something you wanted to maintain class level, that you need to declare here as a class attribute. Something you wanted to declare object level, means within the object you want to do something. So for example, let me create a count here. Self dot count 1 2 3. There's a variable count 1 2 3. You are saying that count 1 2 3. Okay,
Yeah.
we need to declare count 1 2 3. This count refers to current class. Okay,
Hmm.
whatever we pass, that only it will print, and it will. You wanted to increment this, right?
Yeah. So plus
Plus
equals
equal to
count.
1. Okay, now you try to print here count. Okay, then self dot, what is we have to give? Count 1 2 3. Should be count 1 2 3 plus 1. Okay, now you print a count 1 2 3. Now if you see count 1 2 3, how much it is showing for every object. Line number 28. Yeah, here we need to pass the count, right?
Yeah.
Initially, when first time it is created, every time the count will be
Incremented.
0. Now you see, here it is a class object level, your count is getting incremented. But when it's
Yeah.
go to the second object, again your count is 1 only.
Yeah.
Again you go to the third object, count is 1. Because this count is per object. It is local to
Also
the,
amount of employees.
whereas something which declared here is common for all the objects. Common means something which is global, which we are declaring it and we are incrementing every time.
Yeah.
So we are incrementing that every time by 1 commonly. So we are able to get 1, 2, 3. As you create the objects, number get incremented. But here, if we declare it inside the constructor, that will become local to that class.
Okay.
Okay, something which is instance variable. This is called instance variable and this is called class attribute. Similarly, okay, here there is a difference between Simply so far what the functions we are writing is called instance methods. The method which will be passed for instance variable and will do some logic. But now we write a class function that is annotated with at class method. So far all these methods are called instance method.
Yeah.
Now there is a separate type of a method that also have definition, that is also have a function name, but here we don't pass self. Here we'll pass CLS.
Hmm.
CLS refer to class.
Yeah.
So there is a product. For every product, name, quantity, price varies. Means name, quantity, price is something like specific to that particular product.
Okay.
But manufacturer name is common for all the products. Such common things you declare it with class.
Hmm.
Class dot manufacturer name is Sony. So now CLS dot, if you give manufacturer name, it will print. Similarly, something you declare it here, right?
Hmm.
What are you declaring here? ID and address. That
Yeah.
is also common, right? So how do you refer to these variables from here? Okay. If it is declared inside this class method, you are saying that cls dot m name. But where we have an address, I wanted to refer cls dot address. Similarly, you wanted to take this product ID. So if you wanted to print that, okay, what you have to do, print cls dot id. Every time you have to use that cls in place of self. Self is used with instance method. CLS used with the class method.
Okay.
CLS means that is something common. Class method gives the common values. Common for all objects. Whereas this constructor is differs from object to object. This is specific to object. Okay. Now
Okay.
there is one more type of a method called static method.
Hmm.
So we are looking into all types of functions. One is instance method that refer to on a current object. Class method that refer to variable that you declare here. You can refer it through CLS keyword. You cannot pass self here. Okay. CLS refers to class. Next, third is called static method. Static method is always refer with the class name only. At static method you have to give function name can be anything inside the function. Here the function name is CLS. Here the function show. Here the function name is disk. In the disk function, what are you doing? You are able to print everything. What is that? Product dot manufacturer name. Means here there is a name. You are printing it. Product dot address. Something you declared here. Okay.
Yeah.
Next, you are declaring ID. So product dot everything you refer it with the class name. Here you refer it with the CLS. That is the difference between class method and static method. Okay. And
Okay.
also you just can refer as, okay, at class method. You get some differences. Okay.
Isn't it like static method? You can't change anything.
Yeah, we can change it. It's not like constant. We can always change it.
Oh,
So you can declare at static method annotation, whereas here for class method at class. For at class, always you have to pass CLS. Okay. Whereas in at static method, you don't need to pass.
oh yeah.
Okay. Class method takes CLS as the first parameter, while static method needs no specific parameter. A
So
class method,
isn't static method better?
it needs no specific parameter. Means in the static method, you don't need to give anything. Here you need to give CLS first.
Okay.
Okay, so that is how you are able to, suppose now product, if you create an object, first it will go to constructor. Constructor means what? This self dot name quantity price. So name quantity price. Now you are calling is show. Is show is a first function, right? I show. So it is just printing the values, and as well as first it is printing instance variables, and then it is printing these variables. What is that? ID and address. How do you refer to this ID and address? Can you call it with self.id, self.address? Let me try. Will it shows ID and self.address? So that won't print. You should refer it with the product. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Here ID and address it is printing. Okay. So it supports the one which you declare it here. It supports with this, but it is common. Tomorrow if you take another object and that value will be same. That's the reason we refer it with the class name.
Okay.
Okay, so CLS is a keyword you have to use for a class method. For static method, no keyword is used, no argument you have to pass. Everything you refer it with the class name. Okay,
Okay.
so that what is explained here called as the differences. In general, static method know nothing about the class, whereas okay, when you use class method decorator in Python class method, we use static method decorator for static method. So static method will not have any data declared before, means it is empty. So just you will use everything with an object class name. Here class method knows something what we declared, we can change it and we can refer it with the CLS keyword. Here static variables are referred with the class name product.
Yeah.
So that is the basic difference between class method and static method. You can observe that and you can practice it. I think till here is enough for today.
Okay.
Uh, Difference between static method and class method. So instance method means something, a common function. Then static method and then class method. These three you need to practice today.
Okay. Could you put all the files in the GitHub?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the oops folder only, I'll put this files.
Okay. Hmm.
First this text file that I'm using, I'm putting, and then so these are all the classes. What are all the classes we're discussing now? Class 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then see you in the next
Okay.
session. Bye.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Bye.